Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker with a tea that brings a little bit of the past and into the present and kind of tells a richer what used to be story to it. So let's go ahead and get this one going. This is this is a Oolong, and it is not Taiwanese, which is what I was about to say. But I'm going to go ahead and get it started. I've got my 3-ounce Gaiwan. I've got my tea. This was a little vacuum sealed or tightly sealed pack, individual type pack here, about 32 grams, but I'll tell you more about that. And I'm going to just kind of shake in enough here to cover that bottom area of my Gaiwan. You want to make sure your hands are clean and free of any kind of aromas or fragrances that might pass onto the leaves there. That looks good, especially when you kind of shake it out. Well, maybe I'll just scoop out a little bit more there. That looks good. Okay. Now I'm going to let that, or add my water. It's been brought to an early boil. It's been sitting for about a minute or so. So it's still got plenty of heat to it. Water, want to make sure all the leaves going to get tucked under the surface, swept and under the surface of the water so they all get saturated there. You don't want it partially dryly floating on top. This not going to release as much. It's not going to steep as well. So I'm going to cover that, let that sit. You know what? I'm going to add a little more water. I want a little bit to rest just above the rim of the lid. Pour it just like so so that I'll see it rest just above the lid there. That looks good. Also, that's a trick or a way that you can use if you want to prepare a tea. Use a cooler water, and you want to let a tea kind of sit overnight and start to use it again the next day. Some people will raise the water level to about the rim of the lid. Put the lid on. Pour some water around the rim of the lid. Wait a few minutes because some air bubbles might try to escape, and that water that's above the rim seeps down in. Add a little bit more until it kind of stabilizes, and then come back the next day. That way the air hasn't swept under the lid and started to oxidize, change the color of the tea inside. That's what some people do. Let's talk about this tea and what we're looking at now. This is, as I said, this is from LifeInTeacup. This is a 2002 traditional charcoal roast tiguanyin, and it's from Fujian province in China. Now, a lot of your tiguanyins that you'll come across in the market today are greener, and they have a low oxidation and a low firing process, so that a person who is less familiar might think, oh, this looks like a green tea. There can be a little bit of oxidation that takes place, a little bit of tumbling that the leaves may go through to kind of get bruised and create a little bit of flavor nuance that's different from a green tea, so that that oxidation process might kind of barely get kicked off there. This one has gone through some of the more traditional roasting processes, so this one's going to get, you expect it to be darker. You expect it to have a bit more of a heat or toasty kind of element, but we'll see about that. Now, you can get a 32 gram sample, or a 32 gram size like this for $9. Right beside it, along with this, you may see some 2011 32 gram size packs for $11. The information on the website LifeInTeacup indicates that the 2007 grade is a higher leaf grade, and that's why it's a higher price, even though it's a younger tea. So I'm going to look at this tea from the dry leaf, the wet leaf, and the liquor. Give the dry leaf a smell here first. First off, yes, in comparison to other tiguanyins, this has more of a toasty kind of note. It's light. It's not as rich or heavy as the Hongbei, Tanpei type. These terms can be used often with some of the more charcoal roasted Taiwanese oolongs. This one has light Cheerio kind of note there. Very, very light. I'm going to get a few leaves out here with my hand. I'm going to look at them. As I look at them, these look like individual leaves for the most part. They're not, again, not rich, not a rich chocolatey type brown that you might see from, say, a Wu-Yi style Wulong, like a Da Hong Pao or something, a Shui Xian that they can get that dark chocolatey brown. It's not quite that. It's a bit paler. It's a bit lighter. It's almost kind of some of these are have a little bit of a rust red color, but they move over towards a bit of a yellowish brown type color there. So they're lighter in that sense. Most of these look like individual leaves. A lot of them are rolled into balls, although some of them kind of just got twisted or crumpled in a kind of a paper wad, or even just kind of crumpled along the length of the paper wad, of the piece of paper, I should say, or in this case, the vein of the leaf. Various sizes. I see some that would probably open up to a full leaf that's 1 to 2 inches in size. Some of these look like they're portions of leaves. Hard to tell at this point because of the way they're rolled. So I'm going to have to leave that for looking at later. Again, because these are a lot of individual leaves, I don't get a lot of indication of a significant stem or sections that are connecting, leaves, more than one leaf together. So that takes care of our dry leaf. You can see that it will be different from a lot of your, what they call the more modern Tiguanians. So I'm going to angle my lid over to the side to get ready to pour this now. Now I'm going to hold with my index finger and pour just like so. Let me get a little bit more out of there, shake a few more drops out. That looks good. We'll set that to the side for just a moment and talk about this wet leaf. First off, I want to give this a shake, kind of waking up the leaves, loosen them up, get them kind of distributed so a nice aroma will get released. Now, where, like I said, more darkly, more heavily roasted Wulongs will get into a extreme ends, cigarette ashtray type smells. Moving back towards something toasty, toasted oats, toasty Cheerios type. This is light, a little bit lighter than some of those toasty Cheerios. There is a hint of that. There's a light toasted nut kind of smell coming off here, but again, not as intense as some others can be. And with that, it does have. It's beginning to have like a light honey type of sweetness to it, or a sweet grain that's been lightly toasted, maybe a corn, a sweet rice that's gotten lightly toasted, pan-seared type of thing. So that's coming off there as well. So those are nice, again, lightly roasted, toasty, sweet kind of components there. And when I pull out leaves, one here, I've got 2 portions of leaves connected to a stem there. That does not look like a representative of most of what I find here. What I get a lot of are pieces like this that are about 1 inch or so in length, mostly an intact leaf, edges quite ragged, fairly consistent in color as well. You do see very subtle blotches, a little bit deeper oxidation, a little deeper color change of maybe a light rust color along the edges of these leaves. But most of the center part, most of the body of the leaf is consistent in a kind of a deep green, beyond somewhere between an olive drab and like a British racing green, somewhere in between there. Another example of a leaf here, you can see a bit more of the leaf, the edges. You can actually see the kind of the jagged teeth on the edge of the edge of the leaf, and they are brownish with the oxidation that took place there. Let me pull out just one more. These leaves do have a thickness to them, which again kind of lends, and yet there's not a lot of resilience there, which you would expect if that 2007, you would expect a more supple, a leaf, a better quality leaf in that 2007. That was part of the leaf grade issue with the 2002 that you could get, or the 2007. I'm going to go now and just go ahead and start talking about this liquor. Give it a swirl for a second. Hold it up to the light, and there's a nice light, honey type of color there. It's a bit richer. It's a bit browner than say like a Belgian white beer. It's not quite there, so it's a little deeper, heavier in color than that. We give it a pour here. Looks nice in the cup as well, clear. Still light toasty notes coming out. Okay, so with the green Tiguanins, the more modern roast, lighter roast, that allows more floral component to come out. So the issue here will be how much floral component that is the natural element of that leaf will come out in relation to the level of roasting that was done to this. So let's go ahead. The floral component is there. But it's subdued. It's subdued properly, I could say. It's not as if there's a bouquet of flowers trying to get shoved up your nose. It's there. You kind of have to slow down and feel it and appreciate it. It's not outstanding. It's not in your face. Along with that, it also allows that light, early caramelized type taste to stand out too. So you get a good blend of a little bit of that floral, not too strong, a good balance with that caramel, toasty kind of note that comes out. And again, that's not that excessively strong either. When they hit your mouth, you don't get a lot of body. I'm not picking up a rich, brothy kind of feel. But let me give this another shot. Sometimes when these cool off a little bit, the astringency level and the brothiness kind of tend to come into balance. This is like I've had some kind of Taiwanese dongding teas that start to have some of this level of lightly caramelized aspect, still some floral type component there. And that's what you're getting here. There, and the broth, I'm starting to notice more of a heavier, kind of a thicker feel to it. It's still not the richest, not the heaviest, but it's there, and it's worth appreciating. When you get to the aftertaste, there's a bit of a sweetness there that it's almost mouth-watering, but not quite. It's almost kind of, your mouth is waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it doesn't crescendo like you would hope it would. So looking at this tea, it's got subtleties to it. It's got complexities to it. It's got the strength of those roasted toasty elements, or it's got those components, the charms of that. It's got some of the floral that attracts a lot of people who like the stronger aromas of the greener oolongs. It's in the middle there. So this is something that if you have two people in your house who are at those two extremes, perhaps this is a way to meet in the middle. So looking at this tea, there is craft to this tea, and I appreciate that. So I would give this tea, again, this isn't the highest grade that's available, I would give this tea an 89. It's got lots of nice components to it. It's something that you'd want to explore for yourself. So come back to Walker Tea Review to explore this tea or find other teas you want to explore.